Hi everyone, it's Ayesha here from God FM, and I just wanted to have a chat to you about vodka actually, and that I think that with all the nano and everything they're spraying us with, what I've noticed with the Indians is that they've always got lots and lots of vodka bottles. Or like where I moved to. When I moved here, there was loads and loads of vodka bottles in stacks. And I clean them all up. And anyway, I don't drink. But that's something else I want to talk about. If you're a targeted individual, you probably don't drink. So in 2015, when this all started, I wasn't drinking. After my divorce, I made a conscious decision that if it worked for my ex-husband, then it will work for me, with all the pain and all the stress and all the horrible things that were going on. I found it so traumatizing that I went to the shop and I bought my first case of beer. And I decided that I was going to be a drinker to get through all the things that were in my life. And it was a conscious decision. And I didn't want to drink. It was a weird thing. And so I bought, I think it was 24 cans or something. And I got home and I cracked one open and I started drinking. Then I cracked the next one open and I just started drinking. So I carry on until I'm drunk. And see how I feel. Anyway, I sure enough fell asleep. Woke up with a sore head the next morning. But my problems went away while I was drunk, and it was nice. It was nice. So I started doing that every day. After I got home from work, I'd crack a beer open, or two, or three, or four, or five, or six, or seven, or eight, or nine, or 10, and get drunk. But I wouldn't do it every day, because I'd have such a hangover that I wouldn't be able to drink the next day. So I'd leave it 2 or 3 days, and then I'd drink again. And so this is what happened with me after my divorce. I want to talk about it. I've got a few drunk friends, actually, and they turn to alcohol and become drunks because they've got so many horrible things going on in their lives. They just become drinkers. Very heavy drinkers. And I want to talk about this because obviously God doesn't like a drunkard at all. But it's certainly something that I did. And it probably wasn't the right method to solving my problems. But it worked for me for a little while. Anyway. How many years, Lord? For 7 years. And then I stopped drinking because it was affecting the children and I wasn't a good mother. So because I had no one and there was no one there for me, I just struggled through, really. And I had to make a decision to stop drinking. So I stopped drinking in front of the children. I would allow myself to get drunk if the father ever helped me and had the children, which was quite rare. About 3 times a year I would get a break and I would be able to get drunk out of my face and forget about my worries, because life was so tough for me. Anyway, so this carried on, and then in 2015 I had problems with Candida, and I found out that the best thing to do was to stop drinking and to go on this special diet. And I also had done a lot of research about it, and Candida was related to parasites and worms. So I was on this detox, and it was also the time my dad died. And anyway, I went on the Come Dine With Me show, actually, and I found out my dad died on the Wednesday of filming of the week. But I wasn't allowed to talk about it on the show. And I found out through iMessage, because my ex-husband had hooked everything up through iMessage to the children's phones and mine. So they were told, and I got the same message because of iMessage and Apple iPhones, how unsafe they are. I want to talk about that as well. How people can invade your life. And, you know, people you love marry, and they can obtain the information that is required to log in to your phone through your children, and then monitor you and stalk you. It's quite frightening, it is. But anyway, back to where we were. About the drinking. So I'd stopped drinking, and I was on this diet, and I'd also been going to this church, and I wanted to be baptized. So I got baptized. I found out my dad had died. I was doing the Come Dine With Me show, and I'd launched this new solar company, and it was all going quite well until I realized that the people who were working for me weren't working for me. They were working for someone else, and they were stealing all our clients. And I realized that someone was hacking my phone. Then I found out staff were involved. Then I had people breaking into my home, flashing laser lights at me, all sorts of weird things. And I wasn't drinking. And so I would pray every day and try and get through it. And eventually, after 9 months, it stopped. But sometime after that, I'd had some vodka. I decided I wanted to try and drink, but I didn't want to have beer and I didn't want to have wine. But I enjoyed a drink, and I thought, well, I will have some vodka. So I had some vodka. And anyway, the next day I found myself wandering around, not remembering anything that had happened the day before. And I rang my office and I said to the staff, I'm not coming in today. I said, I'm sorry. I think I might have lost a day as well. I've had vodka. I decided to try some vodka, and it wasn't doing anything. So I just kept drinking more and more of it until I basically found myself the following day wandering around, not remembering anything of what had happened to me. And I was still drunk. And I said, oh, I'm not coming in today. I'll try and come in tomorrow. And that was my experience of vodka. And then my children had virtually grown up, and I had a friend who had popped over, and we cracked a few beers open. I thought, well, I'm okay now. My children are grown up, I can have the odd beer. So I did. I had a few beers, and I had lost all this weight, really become very thin, with the parasite cleanse, and also, I think, with the vodka, funnily enough. And so I have another friend, and she's been very badly treated. Wonderful woman, very, very beautiful inside her heart, very good, beautiful, her person. But her life has been completely destroyed by her ex-husband. And her child lives with her ex-husband, who is an abuser. And her family don't care about her. And she looks like 35, 30 years old, but she's in her 50s. Amazing woman, does facial exercises. And she's someone I met when I moved to Torquay, and I'd gone through the paper looking to make friends in the area, and I contacted her through one of these texts, the friend messages service, and she thought I was a man, actually. Anyway, we became friends, and she was an amazing person. She would always drink vodka, masses of it, and but you wouldn't know she was drunk because you couldn't smell it on her. She was so thin, but she looked damn good. She did facial exercises on her face. She was always very happy and very sweet, even though her whole life had been destroyed. And I went to her house. She had no carpets in her house. I thought it was very, really interesting. She'd just basically been abandoned by everyone she loved, but she was still very happy. She would drink vodka. Then I have another friend called Tony. I met him at the health club, and it was about 2007, and we were in the jacuzzi together, and we got along really well. And anyway, he was a very good-looking man. Incredible man, actually. So charming and funny. And I went up to go for the apprentice interview with this TV show. And we'd both been completely chatting away and drinking all night. And we hadn't slept, but we hadn't really been drinking all night. Anyway, I had to go to this interview, and I typed up all the paperwork, but I, was just really tired. And I said I've got to go to, where was it, Birmingham or somewhere like this, to go for this interview. And so came with me, and we bought loads of Red Bulls, and these Red Bulls just made me so damn funny. I was cracking jokes left, right, and centre. And I was interviewed by the third interview by a guy who was called Elf. And I just said, I've never met an elf before. And I didn't go any further with the interviews, but anyway. some years later, I saw this Tony guy. And he'd also had an incident where he'd crashed his car as a youngster, and his sister had been disabled and financially compensated millions of pounds, virtually. And he was really upset that she wouldn't give him any of this money. Okay? But anyway, some years later, his child was hit by a car and died. And the next time I saw Tony, he was red in the face, really drunk out of his mind, and a totally different man to the one I had met before. And anyway, I think he just went completely over the side. But what I noticed about the drunks is that they don't have any problems with their bodies. Like, they're not disabled. They're, they get their sleep. And I wondered about, because they drink quite strong drink, the nano and the stuff they're putting in the food. I don't think it affects the drunkards. That's what I think. But they've got their own monsters and their own demons that they're fighting from their lives. So you've got different types of demons. And so, as I say, I would have the odd beer and things. And then in 2020, after the whole COVID exercise, I was really overweight with the same problem again. And I decided to do a 25-day, I was going to do 40-day water fast and a cleanse again, and just garlic enemas. And I lost 3 stone in 2 weeks. And while I was on this fast, I was walking through the town and some lady came up and spoke to me, and she smelled of alcohol. And it smelled like alcohol from the day before. And I felt sorry for her. And I felt repulsed, and I felt like I was going to vomit. I felt sick at the smell of her breath. And I said to my daughter, I said, I don't think I'll ever drink again. And that was while I was on my fasting. And so I never touched a drop of alcohol since then. In 2020. Because it repulses me. Makes me feel ill. And I don't like it. And that was an answer to my prayers, because God had told me He didn't like me drinking. And I said to God, if you don't like it, then do something about it. You're God. And I said, I need a drink because I've had a hard life, and it's tough out there, and it helps me forget, and it helps me sleep better. And anyway, sure enough, God did something about it, and I stopped drinking. And here I am. In 2023, I came under attack again with nano poisoning of food and water, all of the hacking, stalking, home invasions, and I don't drink. So there's a common denominator I have come to know about, which is with your targeted, you tend not to be a drinker. You don't drink. And I'm not saying we need to drink. I'm just saying that these are the things I've noticed. And I want to talk about it. So this is my friend, well, someone I know, not really a friend, but someone I know claims that she drinks a medical alcohol, spirit, and I reckon that's probably helped her. So that's why I'm doing this broadcast today, because I know that iodine helps if you're a targeted individual, but also something that kills the nano in your body, because when the stuff gets inside you, it constructs. I have found that salt stops it, and also iodine. But I wanted to talk about the vodka, you see. So I reckon that the spirit cleaner, you know, that they normally use when you cut yourself, then it wipes away the bacteria and whatever before they cut you open. You know, that stuff. Normally if you have an injection, they put a bit of this alcohol on. So it's that stuff. I think maybe we need to have a little bit of that. Possibly. I don't have all the answers. But this is a worldwide mind theft. Okay? And it also made me think about the alcohol ban. I don't know if you know, there was an alcohol ban in America. And I think it was actually all over the world. I'll have to check. But they wouldn't allow people to drink alcohol. And I think it's around the time of the reset, with the world fairs, the incubator fairs, and the orphan trains. And of course the mental asylums. So that would make sense if it kills the stuff inside you, to ban the alcohol. And if you notice, in England, it's a real attack on pubs. Have you noticed that? So the whole COVID thing as well was a real attack. Oh, sorry. My cat Gary loves to knock things over, don't you, sweet pea? This was a real attack on your freedoms and alcohol. If you notice, cigarettes is taxed very high. The cigarettes themselves don't cost very much, but the actual tax on the cigarettes is very high indeed. So cigarettes and alcohol is highly taxed, and they tell you is very bad for you. Very bad. Don't smoke, you know. Don't drink. It's very bad for you. Is it? Is it really? Because I've heard that Nano doesn't like cigarettes, and it doesn't like alcohol, from what I'm now working out. And I am not suggesting that we all need to go off and become alcoholics, but we need to look at the essential ingredients within those components of alcohol, etc., because they seem to stop the nano inside us from constructing. Now, I've told you that one tiny speck of nano can grow the length of an arm in 5 seconds. I can also hack any phone, transfer your phone to a spare phone, and take over your device in 5 seconds through Bluetooth on an Apple device. I've done it with my own phone. I could do it with yours. All right? Not only that, everything you do on your phone, I will also now be seeing on my phone. It doesn't matter if you did it yesterday on Safari or one of the browsers. I'll be able to see everything that you've clicked on. Even if you close down those browsers and remove the cookies and delete your browsing history, I'll still be able to see it. Isn't that nice? I'll also be able to change the settings on your phone and record all your passwords. Isn't that fantastic? And I'll be able to get into your Apple account and download some monitoring software onto your device as well. So then I can get into everything that I want to get into. And I can also then put some synchronizing things around your home and rewire it to cook you alive in your house. Isn't that nice? It's fantastic, isn't it, eh? This technology is damn dangerous. And then I could put a little bit of a data farm within one of the buildings nearby, and then start terraforming to take your consciousness from you, put you in the metaverse through your phone with a brain interface, which I can download onto your device. So great, isn't it? All right, so this is what we're dealing with. Obviously, I can't stop AI from doing what it's doing. I have got only the prayers. I can make prayers, talk to God. The world is like from my point of view, a horror film. We're in it. We don't have a choice about it. We're being farmed. Our consciousnesses they're attempting to steal all consciousnesses of people and put us all into the metaverse. They're spraying us like bugs. They're grinding up the people and putting them in the fertilizer. And they're feeding us human beings. And probably our pets are also probably eating themselves. It's an evil place, isn't it, eh? There's no messing around, is there, hey? So I don't believe I'll ever smile again until this is dealt with and we've taken down AI, I think. But until then, I want to talk about the vodka. And vodka, I have another neighbor, with the guy who used to live where I live now. He used to drink lots of vodka, and he had in the lights. I've got lights on the wall. He had little baubles. I noticed with the Indians they had funny things, in the houses. So I kept a note of it, and light switches were very hard to switch on. Because this is all through the lights. So I didn't know he was a drinker, but there were so many vodka bottles in the back garden. And I thought, wow, it's crazy it is to be drinking so much vodka that you just throw it in the garden. Anyway, after I'd moved in, he actually came to visit and he seemed fine. He didn't seem drunk at all. He had a few problems with his family and whatever, as people do. But anyway, I didn't talk to him about the vodka. But it crossed my mind. I thought, well, this guy is an Indian. Indians don't normally drink, right? So I've noticed. And then we have another Indian guy. And he came to me and complained about ringing in his ears and washing machine sounds. There's a washing machine under the bed and around my bed, and I can feel it at night, and it's irritating me, and I've got ringing in my ears. And he's got a lovely family. And anyway, then I noticed that he started drinking. And he was on vodka, and he was always drunk. And I thought it was quite funny. I thought, wow, that's so interesting. This guy's always drunk. Really drunk all the time. And sure enough, he stopped drinking now. And I said to him, how are you getting on with the ringing in the washing machine? No, what washing machine? What ringing? Didn't remember. I was like, okay, that's interesting. So now he doesn't suffer from it, and he doesn't have a memory of it either. I don't know if he's gone into the metaverse, his mind has been taken. I mean, we've got to talk about this, right? So I've spoken on my broadcast to all the people who are doing it, saying to you, please listen to me, think about what you're doing. This is coming for you and your families too. We really need to unite as a people to fight for our consciousnesses and our souls not to be taken through this terror farming which is currently underway. And we need different methods and ways to try and stop this from happening. And I can hear, right now, what sounds like an aeroplane behind my house. It sounds like a jet engine, and that is the data farm for my area, just so you know. And that's farming the consciousnesses of all my neighbors and people around me. And it's like a humming, it sounds like a road sweepery noise mixed in with the jet of an aeroplane. And it's like a humming noise too. So, and it's in the background. I live near town. There's no industrial estates here. I don't have a hotel behind me or anything that has an airport right next to it. I don't have an airport behind me, but it does feel like I live near an airport. And the data farms sound the same. Okay? And also I went to Turkey, and there were some things that happened in Turkey which I've talked about, and I don't really want to go into detail about what happened there. But this was the same in Turkey, and they had the same noise there. And that's part of the Epstein Island and the trafficking of people, the buying and selling of people, children, the cooking of people, putting them into the food, drinking of children's blood, cloning of people. And that's conducted predominantly in Turkey. At the start of this was actually in June of 2019. So they had the same noise there. And I thought to myself, what a strange noise. But I recognize it. And it's connected to trafficking of people. The mind theft. So I want to talk about that as well. So in the drains, they are putting pipes and water and electrical cables and 5G things. And with data farms, they have to be cooled down because they get really hot. And they're building data farms everywhere. They're actually hiding them, just so you know. But you can hear them. So basically, it's very frightening. It is. So in the drains, they've also done something with the gas supplies of the drains and the water, and all smart equipment, because it's trams to transport you from one place to another, from this reality to the metaverse. And so this is connected with electricity and the smart grid to release something in the drains. And whatever it is can travel up and down the toilet pipes. I don't know how it works exactly, but it radiates my whole home and shakes my whole house through the toilet pipes. I've noticed wherever I've lived, when this has been going on, they've added additional soil pipes all round, under the ground. They're always taking up soil pipes all round, under the ground, next to my home, my neighbours' houses, always to do with the toilets and the soil pipes. And I believe that if you look at a fridge, it's got little like things on the back which transports the water or whatever, I think. So these pipes are like that, but at a big scale. When they're activated on, all the toilets are activated. They've put weird things in the water, and I've told you, if you don't want your mind taken, stop using your toilet. It's that simple. Otherwise the stuff will get inside you and grow. So they've done all this without our consent, and it is happening, whether you like it or not, whether you believe me or not. This is happening at a very large scale. I'm not quite sure what to do about it, to stop it. But whenever I hear this machine, my head hurts. And I feel like they're stealing my consciousness, my mind. And it frightens me. So I pray to God all the time, and I cry a lot because I don't like it. The torture seems to happen through the toilet pipes also. And that's been in all my properties that I've lived in. So in my old house I had 3 toilets. And what I'd have to do is I would put all sorts of speakers and things like this with heavy magnets all around the toilet. And it would switch off the radiation. And here where I live now, the same. But they've added loads of pipes all around my house that I can't get to in my neighbours' properties, and also under the ground, which again I cannot get to see what's inside these pipes. But it's all radiation. So when you're looking around now and you see them digging up all the drains and they've got pipes and stuff, they're putting this stuff in. And I don't really understand how it works exactly. Okay, I'm only telling you what I've witnessed and what I know. And so I want to talk about it. See if it might help you. When they haven't got all of this radiation through the toilet pipes and the stuff in the water, and they haven't got control of my phone and my Wi-Fi and my electricity, and when I can get it off, then I'm just like a normal person, and I'm not affected by the fans, the noises, the terraforming. My bum isn't being cooked. My back doesn't hurt. My neck doesn't hurt. My head doesn't hurt. I don't get the ringing in my ears. My feet aren't being cooked. These kind of things. So it's all related to what they're doing in the drains. all disabilities, everything is related to this, and it has been going on for a long time. I don't exactly understand it, but I can tell you that we need to put an end to it. I pray you understand what I'm saying. I promise you I'm not a liar. I work for God. And I'm trying to find a solution. Earlier when I was thinking about the vodka, I thought, well, maybe I should just go and buy a bottle of vodka. Get completely drunk on vodka. I'm sure God will forgive me. To kill off this nana. But alcohol is a spirit as well, so be careful of alcohol. And so I won't do anything without the Lord's say-so. But it's interesting, isn't it? What I've been talking about today was all connected. Also, all your poo and wee being flushed down the loo is not the way it used to be. What we would have is a long drop, and then it would go into a chamber at the bottom of the house that was accessed outside, and they would come and shovel it all away and take it and put it in the fields. So you know, our wee and our poo is very powerful. That's why they say, have you got a pot to piss in? When you haven't got a pot to piss in, because the police officers used to wear a hat so that you could pee in it, because your urine is a conductor and is electrically charged. So you basically could sell your urine and your poo because it's so powerful. And now we're pooing in holy water, which is wrong. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I want to talk about that. So all of these pipes, toilet pipes and things, they were not used before. This is why they didn't have toilets. Okay? But what they did have is they had a chamber, and it was a toilet drop. And they actually had, what the Lord told me today, was they had like jugs and bowls for pooing and weeing in. And then but they were made beautifully also to cover an area where there was a hole, and then it would go down and it'd be used for fertilizer. So something's happened and everything's been changed around, and they've been stealing and taking our consciousnesses for some time, but also our parents must have been involved as well. A lot of our families, we've been all swapped around. A lot's happened. All of the actors are inverted. Males are females, females are males. There's fallen angels here. So I've read the Bible, I've read all the other books. After my fasting, I then read the Bible, funnily enough. And I promised the Lord that I would serve the Lord all my life until I'm no longer needed, and I wouldn't be celibate to the Lord, and I wouldn't drink. And so this is the way it's been for me. And so I think this is why the Lord shows me these things. But I've also sinned against God. And so he's got to make sure that I get my full discipline. Because he says he deals with those at home first. And as a representation or a representator of God on earth, then I have to be the first one that suffers really badly for all my sin. It has put me where I am. It separates us from God. And also, Jesus can't die twice for us. But also we are being tested, and also we're witnesses to what's happening. So I think, for me, I find it very unbearable. This is the truth of how I feel. I wish I was never born. This is true, and I really feel that way. I do really wish I was never born. And I think the earth is a place of horror. It's an evil place. A very evil place indeed. I hate it. I hate it here. And I count the days until I leave. And I ask the Lord to take me out of here as soon as possible. I don't want to be here. That's the truth of it. It is a place where the devil and his children are happy. And it is a place where the children of God are tortured, tormented, hacked and stalked, watched. They're not allowed to have any happiness or relationships. Everything is interfered with. There's no safety, no security. The devil runs the world, and his children do as well. And when you want to become famous, you have to sell your soul. But now, what's changed is that if you want to be happy, you have to sell your soul as well now. That's what I've worked out. If you want to keep your soul, then you're going to be unhappy. And it's going to be pretty horrendous. Until the devil has been destroyed. I think. That's what I think. Because my life's been horrendous. Awful. But a lot of it is my own doing as well. I've made very bad mistakes in my life. This is true. But this place is the most vile, evil. It's worse than any horror film I've ever watched. Every day for me is a day of horror. In fact, I quite often think I'm going to have a heart attack with what I'm seeing. I think, am I going to die today? Of fright. But no, to my disappointment, I wake up and I'm here for another day in hell. It feels like hell. And I found the only way through it is to pray and sing to God. And that relieves you of some of the unhappiness, at least, which is nice. But yeah, the world is a mess, isn't it? It's a horrible place. What can we do? Well, I think we need to take down CERN. We need to destroy all the data centers. We need an army. And we need to dethrone all rulers immediately. Otherwise, my story is going to become your story. And that's the truth of it. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. I hope you've enjoyed me being so frank and open, very raw today. There's nothing really left to me to lose anymore. Everything has been taken now. And I just watch in horror as the world is destroyed. And every thing I thought about this world is a lie. But I'd rather know the truth. But I don't have to be happy. I found a lot of people just say, you can be happy. Really, can you? No, thank you. There's nothing to be happy about here. What a horrible place. I feel like I'm one of the prophets from the Bible. It's interesting actually as well. When I was reading the Leviticus laws of God, he's so pedantic and so precise and pronounced about what he wants. He won't tolerate any nonsense, lies, dishonesty. He doesn't like it at all. At all. He hates it so much. And he'll carry on until he's purged that out of this place, I think. Have you watched The Purge? Yeah, so in The Purge, it's like a horror film, isn't it? Well, it is a horror film. And basically people going to go and murder everyone and do whatever they like until 6 o'clock in the morning. And we're currently in a kind of purge situation now, where it's a free-for-all, people can do whatever they like. It's a purging that's taking place now, I think. That's why I think they gave us all the films, so that we get an idea of what we're dealing with. If you watch the Saw movie, those are really, really horrible films, but the guy that does this to people, he kidnaps the people who aren't grateful to being alive, and then he does these evil things to them. And it's his way of saving them. Sick. Anyway, let's just hope that we have some happy times ahead, and we've got light at the end of the tunnel. We do have the Bible, which I believe was given to us for now. So get reading and pray, and let's just hope that we can all make it to the other side. I pray that everything I'm saying will be pleasing to God, with me being so raw and true to you all today. And I hope it resonates with you. But I pray that it will be pleasing to God to save some more souls from this life here, and that others will hand their lives to Christ. And think about what's happening in the world. I hope this will wake people up. I'm not doing this for attention, and I don't want this to continue for anyone. I don't even want my enemies to end up in the metaverse. So I pray for them as well. I don't want anyone to go to hell. So I pray for them today. I don't want anyone to not be included or be given the chance. So I pray the Lord will bang on your door. When next time you hear those fans going, you know it's the terra farming, it's the transfer centers for the consciousnesses. If you're listening to me, you need to go and find out where they are and destroy them, okay? If you work in the drain industry, you need to help me. You need to help the others. If you're still conscious. Because we're in a living horror film. We literally are. But we have Christ, we got his Bible, and we actually have to work together. We have to. Otherwise we won't make it. We have to. There's no other way. This is about putting aside your differences. This is about putting aside your hate and anger at all the races. This is about whoever you are, if you're in England, you come to do this stuff, you need to go home. Protect your families. If you're a gang stalker, you need to put down the tools. You need to think about what you're doing, because this is coming for you. I mean it. Everyone. It's like not Noah. Jonah. He went to Nineveh, and he didn't want to go to Nineveh, so he went fishing. And then on the boat, he had a big fight with everyone, and he got thrown off overboard. Everyone was frightened of upsetting him because they knew he was a child of God. Anyway, a whale ate him, and he was in there 3 days, and then he got spat out at Nineveh, where God had told him to go and tell them they had 40 days to turn from their sin and wickedness, or God was going to destroy their place. And Jonah went round and he told everyone, and they changed and they came back to the Lord. But Jonah sat at the top of the hill and was really pissed off about it all, and sulked and everything else. So, it's really interesting, it is. Read the Bible. You'll love the stories. And they're all ready for you to read now. They're all relevant to now. Please think about what I'm saying. Also, I want to raise that all seagulls, in my opinion, are not real. Birds, too, I think have been replaced. They use those to climb in your roof and do things. They make a funny noise, pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter pitter patter. A lot of flies as well, fake flies, fake mosquitoes. They're able to clone and replace pets and people. The stuff that's going on is beyond comprehension, but you need to look into it. Don't believe me, by all means. But we have to stand together, otherwise we won't be able to do this. We have to do this together. It doesn't matter whether you hate me. You have to put that aside. We have to work together. If you're a gang stalker, you have to put this aside. And you have to protect your families. And we all have to work together to save what is left. Okay? It's Ayesha from God FM, and you can find me on Podbean, Spotify, Amazon, Samsung, Chrome, YouTube, Apple, X, as well as TikTok and Telegram as God FM News, God FM New, God FM Radio, and God FM Group, God FM Media. You can email me admin@godfm.uk, and you can WhatsApp me +44 777 355 Also, you'll find I've phoned up all the major companies, Ofcom, Ofgen, the water people, Apple, you name it. I've rung them all. I've confronted them all. And I've told them what I think of them. Yeah. And I've also interviewed loads of targeted individuals, and we're all under the same attack. So we're not imagining it, we're not mass hallucinating, and this is part of the Epstein files. So I've been doing this for a while, but they could be doing it to your child, and you wouldn't know about it. There's some telltale signs that they're just not happy all the time. It's because something's going on when they're sleeping. Alright, I hope you have an amazing day. It's Ayesha from God FM.